All right. So let's get started. Hey everyone, good morning. I'm Richa. I'm one of the co-founders at Ethereum Push Notification Service, EPNS for short. And today I'm going to be talking about the evolution of Web3 and why Web3. So I'm going to be covering this topic in few chapters. Chapter 1, what is Web 1 and Web 2? Evolution and need of Web 3. Web 3 is early and what it means for you and what Web 3 things can we do. So let's get started. All right, what is Web 1 and Web 2? So what you see on your screen here is the early Google search engine and how it looked like. So this can be thought of as, although it's not the prettiest, but it can be thought as an innovation in itself. Because back in the days when internet had just started, you probably connected on the modem and went to multiple websites. For somebody in India like me, I would connect and see the same content as someone in Paris or in the US, and that was all static. So you can kind of think of it like unidirectional conversation, wherein multiple users connected on the internet and they saw the same content. That was pretty much a genesis of Web 1.1. Although it was still pretty early, it was considered pretty innovative because for the first time, businesses, people could showcase what they're doing, outreaching a global platform and a global audience. And that's what Web 1.0 enabled. At the same time, there were multiple problems that surfaced. For example, you look at how you have conversations with your friends, and every conversation with a friend is different and is unique. But since Web 1.0 was static, all the content that users saw on the screen was pretty static and not customized to particular needs or whoever was surfing the internet. And that was a problem for Web 1.0. That was addressed by Web 2.0. Let me... Okay. Okay, there we go. Those problems were addressed by Web 2.0, where websites became more dynamic, where content became more curated. And think about it this way, where when two people have a conversation, each conversation is unique between you and your friends or you and a stranger. And the best example of it is like Twitter. So when you go on Twitter, your Twitter feed is very different than your friends or your family. Same as for Netflix. When you go on Netflix, the content, the movies, the shows that it shows you would be very different than the recommendation for your friends and family. And that was the beginning for Web 2.0, where it enabled different content and different services, and it catered to multiple different individuals. But at the same time, there were multiple problems that arose because of this. For example, lack of transparency. If, for example, you are a bank, and you, as a user, log into your bank portal, you would see information on the portal that would be sent by the server of the bank, and you would just have to trust it. There was no way by which you could verify that data, and that led to lack of transparency. Single point of failure. Multiple times we have seen that Google, Twitter, Telegram, it goes down. And it's primarily because it's controlled and it's run by one entity or one centralized entity. Corruption, huge incentives for hacks to occur. We have seen time and again that multiple companies like Cambridge Analytica, they have farmed user data, and they have sold it to multiple entities just to make sure that their incentives are aligned, but the user is not at all is at the risk of losing their personal private information. So okay, all of those problems led to the evolution of Web 3.0 and why we need Web 3.0. So whatever we discussed in the past, trusting middlemen that led to corruption, whether it is believing that Uber tells you that the surcharge right now for the ride is 2.3x, you just have to believe it because the algorithm that they have, there's no way by which user or us, we can verify that information. or for that matter, trusting your bank and them telling you that, hey, this is what your banking information says, and there's no way by which you are able to verify that. At the end, users become product and privacy goes away. So for a lot of users, Facebook or social media is just a social media platform that they use to connect with their friends and family. But for a lot of these organizations, it's basically is a product, is an ad running platform. And that's we have seen time and again that like companies like Facebook, they harness the data and they retarget their audience just to make sure that they can probably buy some products, etc. Finally, critical issues occur. We already covered that: data breaches, user manipulation, and single point of failure. So that led to the evolution, and we can say bonjour, Web 3.0. To simply put, Web 3.0 is a peer-to-peer network that incentivizes users to run the network or be part of the network and get rewarded for it. That enables trustless, faster, user-incentivized network, which is basically at the very core of what we all are building right now. Web3 is early and what it means for you. So when I say Web3 is early, it basically means that back in the days when we connected the modem and we went on the internet, there was still like so much that the user was still struggling with. That is the user experience. And we still in Web 3.0 struggle with that. Simple things like notification, where a user has to go back to a platform in order to check whether their NFT has been outbid, or for example, if their DeFi loan is about to be liquidated. Those user experiences are still broken, and it still feels like the early days of internet when, for example, if you have used Orkut or Gmail in the past, you have to go back to the platform to check whether you have received a new email, or if any of your friends have written something on your wall, or if you have a friend request. So still felt, I mean, right now as well, it still feels like the early days of the internet. And there's still so much critical infrastructure and tools that needs to be built out. For example, notifications or communication, even decentralized video. So many different tools that still need to be built. And there are a lot of teams, for example, in order to search the blockchain data, we have products like, or the projects like the Graph that can query or that can search blockchain data. Or for example, sending communication to wallet addresses. We at EPNS are building that out to send notifications tied to wallet addresses. But there is still a lot of problems that need to be solved. And I think a lot of you can play a major part and role in doing that. So you can be the next inventor. Quick pitch on what we are building. That is the missing piece of Web3. Just a quick scenario. For example, if you wake up in the morning, you have a whole bunch of notification on your mobile home screen. So these are all Web2 services that are trying to reach out to you. It could be FedEx, it could be a bank, credit card, so many other Web2 services. But there is no way by which right now Web3 services like smart contracts, dApps, or backend, or any other service can reach out to user. And when I say user, I mean user wallets. That can lead to critical information drop. For example, if you have a loan on a DeFi protocol, if it's about to be liquidated, you probably will not come to know. Or if you're into governance or DAO, and a new DAO proposal comes up, you probably will not come to know unless you check the Discord or Twitter, which is super noisy and not a native Web3 way of communication. Same is the case for NFTs. If, for example, your favorite NFT artist drops a new collection right now, there's no native Web3 way by which the NFT artist can reach out to all the wallets and let them know that a new NFT collection is out. So this is the missing piece of Web3, the communication layer or the communication protocol for Web3 that we are building. So it is an open communication layer which enables wallet communication, and notifications are not just simple text. Notifications can be as dynamic as video, as images, and so on. And it's multi-chain and platform agnostic. That is, any Web3 service or any Web3 crypto front end can just display these notifications out. These are some of the use cases that I touched upon in the previous slides, whether it's NFT, DeFi, governance, how do you communicate in the metaverse or in gaming, content, publications, and so on. And then finally, what Web3 things can you do? So Web3 is all about being part of a most inclusive and one of the most vibrant communities out there. You could build the next innovation. You could build the next Facebook or Twitter in the most decentralized and aligned to the Web3 ethos. You can start by joining a hackathon. For us, it's super special as well, because as a project, we started a journey from a hackathon, from ETH Global Hackathon, and Cree from ETH Global is here, so if you guys have any question, you should reach out to her after the talk is done. So joining a hackathon is the best way to build a product out, to get like industry leaders to help you ideate, mentor, and so on. And the ETH Global team has been like the best team ever to support all the hackers and builders out there. So big shout out to them. You could participate in DAOs. So DAOs are nothing but democracies. So if you are into DAOs, exercise your vote, participate in DAOs, and learn and be part of the community. Finally, you could apply for grants. We at EPNS have $1 million grant that you could apply to if you're building anything around communication or you need any help and support. Even otherwise, most of the projects have grants now, so you can reach out to them, learn what grants they have, how they can help, and I think most of them would be more than happy to help you out. And yeah, that's all about Let's Building Web3. Thank you so much. I'll be out for any questions if you have after. Thanks.